Welcome to this week's Wisco Goes West.
We're back.
Episode 20. We came from a little, what do you call it, hiatus from this guy. Is now a married man. Look at this. Ooh. Someone's excited. I was too. It was a good time. But now we're back, episode 20. A lot going on in the world. Make sure you come check out our social media. We'll tell you more about what's going on in the world there. Facebook, you can see us on Juggernaut Productions, LLC. You can do the same thing on Instagram, Juggernaut Productions, LLC. Or you can find us on Twitter at Juggernaut_prod. P-R-O-D. So this week, John, we're going to start off with music. And we have the throwback reviews. Throwback, beginning of the month, we always do the throwbacks. So, you start it off, John.
I will. And I'm going to take it in a different way this time. Not so much, we always do popular music, the greatest albums, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go back to an album that you can just listen to.
Just hang out.
It's called Shwayze.
Oh.
By Shwayze.
Oh.
It's actually a pretty decent album. It was released back in 2008 by a Malibu rapper. Singles include Buzzin' and Corona and Lime, which we all love Corona and Lime, let's be honest.
Right?
Exactly. But this album would climb actually all the way to top 10 on the Billboard 200 back then. When I talk about this album to people, I do say, it's that hippie, stoner, West Coast rapper vibe.
Yeah.
Don't go looking to this album if you want Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole type of stuff.
So you want super intellectual.
Exactly. A lot of people do believe that the sales went up because they actually he had an MTV show about him while going through this process of recording the album.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Back in 2008?
Yeah, I was just super into Shwayze. People that follow me know that I was into Shwayze.
Know that I rock Shwayze.
But no, I think it's a pretty good album. But definitely, like I said, it's not technical hip hop, if you will. But good album to listen to.
Always good albums. We try and give you guys good albums on our throwbacks. Because we want you to listen to good things. And we also consider ourselves engineers. All the above. So I'm going to give you an album that I tried making John guess earlier, but he could not do.
I still can't get it.
I gave him this hint. And if you can call in, listeners... I'm kidding, there's no call-in motion yet. But soon. But if you can call in to tell us who this three-piece band with a red-headed stepchild of a frontman, and then they had a really popular song in 1997.
So you guys got way more information than I even did.
I gave you 97, late 90s. Anyways, it's Eve6 with their self-titled debut with the song Inside Out, right? That song is great.
No.
And actually, forget the song. I mean, that song was great. Everybody loved it. But the album itself, to me, was just huge. Really well put together, especially for a debut album coming out for these guys. I became a big fan of theirs because of this. A couple big songs that I really liked was Open Road Song and then Superhero Girl. Pretty fun. And they're just, like you said, it's nothing intellectual. It's just fun loving the songs, about heartbreak, about having fun, partying it up, whatever. A lot of good fun puns as well in their lyrics. I always love that shit, dude.
See, people got to remember that music... It's for every type of mood.
Yeah. So, on the throwbacks, obviously we don't give you a star rating because we believe they're number 5s in our hearts. So, are we going to sports or are we going to film next?
Let's go sports.
Sports. Speaking of hearts, good segue.
First off, moment of sadness, of silence, of everything you can in that term.
Remembrance.
Remembering the great late now Muhammad Ali, who died Friday night at the age of 74. He was not only a boxing legend, but also a cultural icon for many reasons. And if you don't know, you should go research it. I'm not going to give you everything. We're not going to do that. But go do some research.
He's the greatest of all time, so if you've never heard of him, yes, you need to do your research. But yeah, like you said, cultural icon. He did a lot of fun stuff. He was in like wrestling matches I've seen pop up with like Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
He was very into the TV aspect too and being in the spotlight and very motivating person.
And at a time in our history, it was not popular to be him, and he made it popular. So, another one gone.
Another one bites the dust.
But Randall, I'm going to present to you this. So we are in the midst of the NBA Finals. Golden State currently has the lead over the Cavaliers.
Still tonight.
It's going to be evened up.
Sunday night.
But they do have a series lead, 1-0.
Yep.
Game 2 coming up tonight, Sunday night. But since then, Steph Curry has won his second straight MVP, the first unanimous MVP. And people talked about, the word valuable throughout this time. People were very critical of Steph. I just want to know on your part, did Curry deserve the MVP? And is he the most, what people, NBA analytics, critics of sports, the sports world, is he the most valuable? Where'd he go?
Did he deserve the award? This year, yes, I believe so.
Oh, yeah.
Unanimously, that was the part that I was just like,
I
whoa.
didn't like, yeah.
People are jumping on the bandwagon too quick for a guy that's so. I mean, it is great. It's great in his own right, right? Best offense I've seen ever.
Yeah.
But to me, the most valuable player comes around to all around most valuable player. Just because you can score the best all around, Peyton Manning, Colts, those kind of things, if you take it to different situations,
True.
it doesn't mean you're necessarily always going to win it per se. And so to me, the most valuable player on your team is the person that's making your team better. He's doing that, I guess, though, too, right? So what's the meaning of value in the most valuable player in that position and that award? I think you got to have some defense, though, man. And that guy doesn't play defense.
Yep.
That guy doesn't play it.
It's interesting, and there's a lot of people now saying because of just the popularity of the league, of where he's getting a lot of quick recognition. But I agree with you. I think he's the greatest offensive player we might have ever seen. You still have a lot of way to go, but it could be. But I don't think you're the best all-around player.
And not to say he's not a good defensively per se.
No.
Like, he's had a good couple hustle plays. He's a hustler. That's his thing. He hustles.
Not Jordan. People want to call you that. And it's just not.
And well, yeah, especially as a Cavs fan, and myself included, as a LeBron fan, you talk about the fact of a person that's gone now to 6 straight finals who's getting the idea of, like, you're not quite Jordan, you're still not Jordan, but yet people are referring Curry to as close to Jordan as possible. Yeah. I did hear this argument the other day, and I always hate to bring in race, but I'm going to bring it up quick because I can. I was watching His and Hers with Michael Smith, and what's her name? You remember?
Jaleel Hill.
Yes, Jaleel Hill. So they were talking about the idea that Curry's a little lighter skinned than most African Americans, and does that have to bring in with the fact of, me, myself, other people as well, subconsciously, because I don't consider myself any sort of racially biased, but do a lot of white people go, oh yeah, Steph Curry, yeah, he's the best. Well, there might be something to that,
Let us know your thoughts.
On the social medias, find us.
Going to film right now.
Okay.
Let's go to film.
I'm going to go to film. I'm going to take this one. What do you think of that?
You can take it.
So Independence Day is coming out, guys. The new one, I forget what the second, Reassurance. We're reassuring that we are living as a human race, people. I'm still hoping for a Will Smith cameo. I don't think it's going to happen, but we're hoping for it. But Fox is doing the best that they can to make sure you get enough Will Smith ahead of time. So Thursday, before this movie comes out, they're actually doing a preview showing that you can watch at home. And it's going to count towards their open day gross sales of you purchase the ticket, you get to watch the old movie first, Independence Day, and then it comes out with Reassurance right afterwards. I mean, that's pretty darn awesome, so, John, your thoughts. Are you excited for the sequel? What do you think about this move by Fox? I think it's delicious.
Yeah, first off, I'm not as excited as you are. You are very excited.
I'm pretty damn excited.
I'm ready to see it, if you will. I'm not I don't want to hold it up too high just because there's been a lot of remakes lately that have not been all the way up there. So, but the whole thing with Fox, as much as I dislike Fox, this is an amazing strategy.
Yeah.
You talk about trying to get people to come to the theater. Well, again, cut out that middleman. Have these numbers count. You can have the movie theater experience there of seeing a new movie the day before it comes out, which is kind of cool. But I just think it's great that they count it for the numbers. That's the 100%. Number one thing.
Yeah.
Is because you could have said that and kept those numbers private and not included, blah, 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 with a lot of different paperwork and red tape. But you're allowing this to count for everything. So I think that's an amazing part.
That's huge. And towards those numbers. And then the last question that I forgot to ask is, should we expect more of this from movies?
I really hope so. Because think if you could watch Deadpool. Well, I guess the only thing is with that, if you have to edit it for a certain rating, or if you get the ticket, blah, blah, blah. But think if Deadpool was this. Think if you could watch Deadpool, and then watch the next, Deadpool in that series. I think it would be great. I think it's a smart strategy of people of the age of binge watching.
Yeah.
I think we should expect more of this, and if not, they don't come out with it. I think we should push towards it.
Right. When you talked about Avengers 2, right? Its glory days and when it came out. Imagine if you could have saw Avengers 1 ahead of time at home and then watched Avengers 2 the day before it came out, even so you can be like, on top of it, you are the number one person. You're those trendsetters then. You're the people that are taking it. And to me, that's pretty fun. We're actually going to go watch some Thundercats after this because I thought to myself, dude, what about watching episodes of Thundercats before the new movie Thundercats comes out? And we found it on Amazon Prime. Go watch it. It's a good time.
So, we're going to take it global /USA, but we're staying global. This week, Europe has kind of been in headlines for actually something good this time, nothing crazy, which is, for a break for Europe right now.
Good job, Europe. No rain in Paris.
But the Pope came out saying that he is now going to look at mishandled cases of sexual abuse within the Catholic Church and many bishops and pretty much revoke them from being within power and being in the church.
Yeah.
This is obviously coming after decades upon decades of allocations, different things, pointing fingers, blah, 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 mishandling, everything that you can think of. In the year that Spotlight actually, this Oscar won Best Picture for it, the movie is about Boston reporters reporting on the Globe saying that this was happening in their town. They showed evidence, everything like that, and exposed them a little bit, which kind of helped, push towards this case, I feel.
Yeah.
But to kind of get down to it, is it too little too late? And not that you can ever obviously make up for what happened within the past at all. But how do you mend the wounds? How do you move forward? Because the point is, at the end of the day, to move forward and better ourselves.
Yeah, I think I just said too little, too late. No, I think you got to move at some point in time, right? Is it too little for the people that's already been abused and affected from these situations? Of course. However, as we do with anything that we talk about for the future, let's make it better for the people, beyond us, our children, our children's children, right?
Sure.
And so that case, we talked about this earlier. I feel that, I'm with you on this, that it's good to see the church taking a progressive position on such things, so that we can obviously get rid of this devilish thing that happens in churches. It's such a weird, effed up thing.
Yeah.
It should be gone anyways. Should have been gone decades ago when the original actions of this, the movie Spotlight is bringing forward. It would have been smart to have just got rid of it then. You can
really
hear.
Aggressive.
You can hear that motorcycle going by just now. We have a great studio here at Juggernaut Productions, so make sure you come check it out sometime when you're able. You can hear motorcycles and traffic go by at all points in time. But yeah, no, back to the Pope. I think it's a good thing to move forward. I think it's a good thing to tell those bishops, like, hey man, we're stomping our feet down. Yeah, it should have been done hundreds of years ago when you first heard about anything to that effect.
Yeah.
But, we move forward, we keep going. Politics. This week's a good one, man.
It is.
I like politics this week. I'm taking this one.
You take this
one.
one.
My phone.
Phone action. iPad action.
Ooh, iPad. Phone, iPad. Anyways, President and the First Lady were busy this week trying to make people understand where they stood on the idea of Trump being president. Now, they never said his name,
No,
say.
never.
It said just Republican candidates, stuff to that effect. She had a commencement speech at the City College. That's the FLOTUS, for those of you that are with us. I had a commencement speech at the City College of New York saying, we don't build walls to keep people out because we know that our greatness is always dependent on contributions from people who were born elsewhere. And that's so true, and this is a little more after talking about some of the concepts that Trump might bring forward as well. And I just watched this with John before the podcast taken here about the president was at Elkhart, Indiana, saying, if we turn against each other based on divisions of race or religion, if we fall for a bunch of okey doke, just because it sounds funny or tweets are provocative, then we're not going to build on the progress we started. And that's, to me, it makes sense. Obama's just basically trying to stand up for the 8 years he's been in office, trying to point this thing in the right direction, has made economy better, has made unemployment go down, and yet you have a person who he remarked is going to probably come into office and has a plan of helping not just the 1%, the 1/10 of the 1%, get the lowest taxes in history possible. So, he goes, there's other issues you might not agree with. The fact of economy versus maybe a point of you don't like the idea of abortion, you don't like the idea of gay rights that Democrats back up, gun control, all those types of things, right? But the bottom line, if you think it's affecting your pocketbook as a middle class, and if you think a Trump is going to come in and help you as the middle class by giving those guys up at the top that much less of a tax break,
right?
And he said it. I said that as I was watching, I said I'd like to smack a person, right? I don't like going to violence, but it's just kind of like, what else can I do, right? But yeah, you gotta give them an intervention. You have to just tell them, hello, you're not getting helped here.
Right.
So sorry, I just had to put my 2 cents in there. But what do you make of their speeches, John? And do you think that the world is actually watching? Do you think they have an impact?
I think obviously they have an impact, with their own group of people because he is the president and she is the first lady. However, I think that it's interesting that obviously they didn't say his name, but when there's only one candidate in the Republican race now,
yeah, true.
You kind of
you know
who it is. But I think it comes back to what the Democratic side has been saying this entire time is that it is a fact of if you look at the hard facts, because you can't prove facts on what's best for religion, gun control, any of that. You know,
Right.
this is just all testing. But what you can come down to are numbers, and what you can prove is numbers. And it is proven that the kind of plan that Trump wants to go on is going to cost us trillions of dollars, will destroy our middle class and poor class, and just kind of look out for yourself on the like you said, the 1/10
Yep.
of that 1%.
Or the 1%, him himself too. You know, he's not going to take tax and give himself more taxes.
And I think what the president said at the last of it too was, you know, we can't vote on fear, and we cannot just not vote. We have to understand and really do our research and due diligence of our civil right to go out and vote,
Yep.
and to make sure that this guy doesn't become president. And
Yeah.
That's
Bottom
where
line.
bottom line. Done.
Tuesday.
Period.
June 7th.
California,
Go. Vote. Tell your workplace if they're not going to allow you to. They have to. Right?
Now.
Get out. Don't use it as an excuse. Go out and vote for who you believe in.
Doesn't take that long. Calm down.
It's like 20 minutes if you're in a busy city like myself.
Exactly.
Takes like 5 if you're in like Abroad or Lodi.
True. Don't give the week.
Hee-haw.
So we obviously have all heard about the crazy news of a silverback gorilla being shot at the Cincinnati Zoo for holding a child and taking a child hostage.
Did you
almost,
watch
if
that
you
video,
will.
by the way?
I did not,
Oh.
because I can't stand
It's just-
those type of videos.
I mean, we didn't do anything harmful that I saw in the video that I saw, but he just dragging him like a rag doll. You know?
Yeah. But so I'm not gonna say that anyone is the donkey. I want you to pick out of the 3 people I present. So obviously there's been an outcry within the animal community saying that the zoo should not have ever killed this gorilla.
Yeah.
And obviously they have their right to do that as well. But the zoo also came back saying that they did as much as they thought that they could do without harming the child, and the only solution was to kill the gorilla.
Right.
But then many people in the world are saying, well, Mom, we're parents, where
Where
you
were
at
you
this
at?
time,
Yeah.
and how did this happen? So out of the 3, who do you give the donkey of the week? The parents, the zoo, and because there is a small percentage of idiots out there, and I do not agree with this at all, the gorilla.
So, the gorilla, I mean, biologically, is the closest to the donkey.
Is the closest.
You know, he's a mammal. He likes to kick things. Now, obviously nothing that the gorilla did wrong here. The gorilla's in a cage for the rest of his life, and unfortunately had just a bad situation there.
Yep.
Parent of the child, I put half and half blame on this. The donkey really is the zoo to me. But the parent of the child, you know, yeah, you should be watching as best as you can. I heard she was also watching a couple other kids besides hers, you know, taking some friends to the zoo. You know, that stuff happens, and that's it's unfortunate that the kid made its way into the pit. This is where I put the donkey on the zoo, though. Is the point of zoo, how can a child even get into the pit?
Right.
Plain and simple.
Right.
This is all here for viewing pleasures. We're not feeding no damn silverback gorilla anything.
Right.
You want to have the petting zoo so I can feed the ducks or the goats? Great, that makes sense. They ain't gonna take my 4-year-old kid and tear him in half.
True.
The gorilla cage should have some sort of barrier. Maybe it's even a chain link fence that you gotta look through. Now, if you want to say that obstructs your vision as a zoo and you have to make more money based on that, well, go after yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because now you have the situation of a dead gorilla on your hands where the world's going crazy based on the fact that a human life was saved. Now, to me, none of the zookeepers did wrong in shooting the gorilla. I apologize. I know I'm on the same boat of that human population. We're overpopulated. We shouldn't have shot the gorilla. Tough shit, 4-year-old kid. Well, you are a heartless human being if you really think that.
Right.
Now, I'm not a heartless human being for saying that the gorilla deserved to die. No, the gorilla didn't deserve to die at all. It's just a situation of I'm saving either a human life or not.
But also, there are many people that don't wish to die from police brutality, and that still happens.
Yeah,
but you
that's
guys
true.
don't inquire about that.
No one goes crazy about
But
that.
on my last point too is, I believe that, in my case, I believe 75% goes back to that mom of understanding that, yeah, I understand that you have a lot of kids, but maybe then the zoo is not the best idea.
Place to be, yeah.
There's a lot of solutions that you can find that are probably even, because if you had to pay to go to that zoo, it's a main city zoo, so I'm sure you had to pay some money there.
Yeah, since then
You could have done something different. But I do go back, like on your point of, it is on the zoo. How did they get in there? Why is there not safety regulations? Why aren't people informed when you go to the zoo? I don't know about you, but when I go to the zoo, I pay or just walk in, and then it happens. I'm at the zoo. I don't go through any training. I don't go any warnings.
There's nobody hanging out by the gorilla cage saying, don't go in there.
And as stupid as it sounds, humans are stupid.
Now here we are. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
stupid.
I mean, it was only 10 years, 15 years, maybe even 20 years ago already, that we had a woman, sue McDonald's over coffee. I think since that point, we've all realized humans are stupid.
We're pretty dumb.
We're dumb. I consider myself smart. He's smart too. Speaking of things being smart, make sure you listen to more of our smart stuff via the social media. Speaking of which, we do social media and audio engineering and video production as well, all at Juggernaut Productions. So check us out, Facebook at Juggernaut Productions, LLC. You can find us on Instagram at Juggernaut Productions, LLC. And of course, the Twitter at Juggernaut_prod, P-R-O-D. Thank you again for listening. This is episode 20, and we will be coming back next week, episode 21. Deuces.